So this video is going to explain the second part of today's lab, bone histology. So I would read the bone tissue part of your lab book. It's page 33 and 34, at least in my lab book right here. And we're going to start by looking at this compact bone. So compact bone gets its name for being compact. So we have the compact bone here. It's on the outside of all bones. And as you can see, it's compact. Spongy bone looks like a sponge. I have done enough scuba diving and snorkeling that I do agree it looks like a real sponge. And we're going to look at both of these on the histology slides. So this is one view of the compact bone. And we're going to see these repeated structures called osteons in it. That is an osteon right there. Now, the space in between it is called an interstitial laminae. It is the remains of a previous osteon. So the osteons all have a central canal. And you have osteocytes in lacuna wrapping around them. Now what you can't really see in this picture is there's little tiny canals called caniculi connecting them together. And what happens is the osteocytes in these lacuna are all holding hands. They're passing nutrients from the central canal outward. So you could sort of see some caniculi there. So the nutrients get passed to the outer layers. So we're going to scroll down. This is more what your slide is going to look like. And we have our osteons right here. We have our central canal. We have our osteocytes in lacuna. And then you could clearly see the caniculi. If you scroll down to the rest of the page, this is what you are looking at right here. So we have, that's our central canal, that is the osteon, you can see the lacuna. This is a perforating canal or a Volkmann's canal. I personally like Volkmann. We're going to talk about this slide later on. And this slide right here is a zoomed in on model. Here's the central canal right here. You can clearly see the caniculi on this one. So like the other video for cartilage, I'm going to explain what to look for. On the page on Canvas, I say what I want you to draw. So this is two osteons right here, and they have a nice chummy, it looks like an old owl. Let's put a little face there. So this right here is a central canal. This right here is another central canal. This is calling them Harvasian canals, Harvasian losses canals, and the concentric laminae, that's the circular rings that are formed, he lost it. They used to be called Harvasian laminae. Now we can see our lacuna. All of these are lacuna with osteocytes in them. So I'm going to be sneaky and point to those two. Then we have our caniculi. So here's our caniculi. I'm going to be sneaky-er and label it like that. And lastly, I need to label an osteon. So there's my osteon. So that is what you are labeling on this picture. And you can see what the whole bone picture looks like over here. And on the lab exam, just like for the cartilage, I will ask you, what is this tissue? Compact bone tissue. What is a structure? So that structure is the central canal. That structure is a caniculi. That structure would be a lacuna. Or I might ask you the cell. The cell is an osteocyte. And when you guys do your labeling, figure out a color that actually works. This is actually my third time making this video. It's crashed 3 times. And I can't figure out a color that actually looks nice here. So this is spongy bone. Spongy bone differs because it looks like a sponge. It doesn't have real osteons. Instead, it has these trabeculae, or trabeculae, plural versus singular. I flunked Latin. And we have osteocytes in lacuna. Now over here we have red marrow. And that's what I want you to focus on. So if I look at the zoomed in version, I see my osteocytes in lacuna. So look how tiny the little osteocyte is. Now allegedly, that is an osteoblast. Could also be an osteoclast. That's probably an osteoclast right there. Here's our trabecula. And here's our red marrow. That's what I want you to focus on. So I'm not going to worry about matrix for either of the bone slides because you could say, oh, does he want trabecula? Oh, does he want caniculi? So let's look at the histology slide. So this is the page that I'm taking you to. I'm cheating. It's actually the growth plate. And if I slide down or slide out, I have my growth plate actually down here. So this is the growth plate. We're actually looking up here in the slide, so the growth plate would be right there. And I just liked this slide better for the trabecular bone or the spongy bone than the other bone. So I'm going to zoom in. And I am going to try to find a color we can see. That would be an osteocyte in a lacuna. This would be red marrow. Maybe write that in yellow. And finally, let's zoom out a little bit. It's not going to let me zoom out because I wrote on here. So here's the osteocyte in the lacuna. This is the red marrow. That's actually red blood cells right there. Now I'm going to zoom out. These are trabeculae. And you might as well do the growth plate histology while you're here. The growth plate is right below there. So this is a trabecula, this is a trabecula, this is a trabecula. So that is what I want you to label on here. Thank you. Have a good day.